Abortion is one of the biggest issues in the race for the White House between Vice President Kamala Harris, who supports abortion access,
and the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body,
and former President Donald Trump, who appointed justices to the U.S. Supreme Court that played a key role in overturning the landmark Roe v. Wade decision that had protected abortion access in the U.S. since the 1970s.
Our position is that abortion is now back to the states.
With each state now making its own laws around abortion, any president's power to force sweeping change is limited. Jesse Hill is a law professor at Case Western University.
What, if anything, will change if Kamala Harris is elected president?
So if Kamala Harris wins the presidency, policy toward abortion would remain pretty much the same. So the Biden administration has been very supportive of abortion rights and has kind of done what it could to protect and support abortion rights across the country.
To pass a law legalizing or outlawing abortion nationwide, the presidency, House of Representatives, and the Senate would all need to be controlled by the same party. Even then, a procedure in the Senate requires 60 of the 100 senators to vote for such a law, which is extremely unlikely. If Harris is elected, she would likely continue the Biden administration's focus on administrative rules around issues like access to medication abortion, known by its trade name, mifepristone.
The president has taken steps to allow, for example, mailing of mifepristone rather than requiring it to be picked up in a physician's office or at a clinic. I would expect that if Kamala Harris were to be elected, that there would be perhaps a continuing relaxation of the restrictions on the medication.
It's not clear how Trump would handle abortion should he win the presidency. He has tried to attract Republican base voters who oppose abortion and more moderate swing voters. He's posted on social media that he would, quote, be great for women and their reproductive rights, but not provided clarity about how he will approach the issue. Stacey Lee teaches law at Johns Hopkins University.
How will abortion access change if Donald Trump is elected president once again?
I think that a return of a Trump presidency would embolden and further states to perhaps make amendments to their constitution to further restrict access to abortions.
And a Trump administration may seek to make abortion care more difficult to obtain, even in the states that allow it.
He has been in favor of legislation that would withhold funds to NGOs that provide abortion services. He can impact how Medicare and Medicaid cover those services. So I think that through the federal purse strings, he can have some real influence.
Currently, women in states that severely limit abortion can leave a state for the procedure, but those with fewer financial resources are less likely to travel to another state.
Predominantly, women of color, women with lower socioeconomic baskets are being impacted the most.
The biggest impact the next president may have on abortion access is if they have the opportunity to appoint a justice or justices to the U.S. Supreme Court. That would happen if a sitting judge dies, steps down, or perhaps if Democrats change the makeup of the court. But it could be many years before the court sees a vacant seat. Jim Spellman, CGTN, Washington.